of his eye. Sit right down, we're gonna give you the scoop with Ryan Pfeiffer and
Sophia the Mysterious.
Shama-lama ding-dong loop-de-loop. This is the story of a guy named Mr. Boop.
You're listening to Being Mr. Boop. 90% my wife jokes. My name is Ryan Pfeiffer, and I'm Mr. Boop.
My name is Sophia the Mysterious, and I'm Mr. Boop.
That's right. Lisa is still absent. She
Is it
is.
a concert?
She's at a concert, benefit concert for saving the
Life of Betty Boop.
for saving the dodo birds. The concert has been postponed for a long time, and it's not really of much use anymore. But they organized it all, so they're still putting it on. Sophia, thank you for joining. It's Monday, October 26, 2020. Today we're reading the 186th ever Mr. Boop strip. What happens in today's Mr. Boop?
Liz has started making sense.
That's right. Do you need a link to the strip, actually?
Yeah, I think so, because it doesn't seem right.
Also, if you're clicking the one on the spreadsheet, then yes, that is wrong. Shadow synopsis. Wow, it looks like we got another great heartfelt week of Mr. Boop coming your way. Thanks, everyone. That's right, I forgot. It's called Mr. Boop. That's what this comic is called. 4 panels of Mr. Boop. Panel 1, we see Liz and Alec just in a void. Liz is a little bit taller. They're taking up like half the panel. The other half of the panel is speech bubbles. So Liz has a speech bubble. It says, "You keep calling me Betty. Are you aware of that?"
What?
Betty is in quotes. Electoral heart after that. And Alec responds,
What? Like Betty Boop? Have I really?
electoral heart after
Electro heart, and then 3 electro hearts that come out of his head. He's concerned. He's still run realistically in this. He looks like a guy that I saw today.
Always realistically. He looks like what?
He looks like a guy that I know in real life. Really. I mean, well, the guy...
Alec
in real
Robbins.
life. No, he's not Alec Robbins. But, like,
He's not Alec Robbins?
He's not Alec Robbins. It's true. He's a guy with glasses, but he's blonde, so it's not really like Alec Robbins. Well, that's an anecdote.
Cool. That'd be cool if you knew Milhouse in real life.
Milhouse? Oh, Milhouse, yeah.
Yeah, Milhouse.
Well, no. Well, Milhouse is also not blonde.
Or real, that we know of. So Liz is finally, like, calling attention to this weird thing Alec's been doing. You haven't seen the other strips, but Alec has called her Betty, like, twice now, and at least twice. We don't know between strips if he's called her any more than that. But he called her it, like, 2 weeks ago, and then he called her in the last strip, he called her Betty, and she's like, "My name is Liz." And now she's saying it. He keeps calling her it, so maybe he's called her it again. And apparently he doesn't even notice, which is why he was confused in the last strip, why she was bringing up that her name is Liz. He doesn't even notice.
He's playing coy.
Maybe, or he just has, like, brain damage.
I guess.
She originally brought up the fact that her name is also Betty, because Elizabeth.
Yeah, but
Elizabeth is short. It can be cut into Liz or Betty, or
just like Liz,
or Lisa, or Eliza, or L.
Massive L.
Okay. That's what Alec's taken. I tried to get for this week for the podcast. I tried to contact someone named Elizabeth Dupe, Lisa Dupe.
No,
but not our Lisa Dupe.
And what
a different
did she
Lisa
say?
Dupe.
But was it someone you knew?
No, it's just another
Well,
person I
yeah.
know that has this name.
Yeah.
No, it's
So-
it's this realtor I found that also is named Lisa Dube. It's the only other person I could find that had this name.
It's pretty rare.
It's rare. I'm surprised it's a real name. She was not interested. She did respond. She was not interested in hosting the podcast. She didn't think she would have much to add. I don't feel like any of the other hosts have much to add anyway. But
So she has checked out, tried to understand what this is.
She asked what the podcast was about, and I told her. I don't know if she looked into it at all. Maybe she.
Figure
I didn't
out
tell
how
her what the
to
name of
do
the
it.
strip was or the name of the podcast, but I told her what the strip is about and what the
Oh.
conceit is. And I also mentioned Beenger Davis. Now, not Beenger Davis right now in the current week. Actually, it'd be a new week now, but the week I'm currently listening to, which was last
Oh.
week, John Gibson returned to the podcast, but it wasn't John Gibson. It was someone named John Gibson. That's kind of what I was
Yeah.
going for there.
Yeah.
Since
Well,
since
it's a
we're both
strange request.
both podcasts are missing their co-hosts still.
Yeah. Well, isn't this how? But like, just by randomly getting contacted, isn't it how Lisa got on being Jim Davis? The origin.
Yeah, I suppose so. I don't remember exactly. How did do you remember how that happened?
I think they just contacted her on Twitter. They just said, "Oh."
But it
because
was like
Lisa
they
mentioned
found each other
Garfield.
in a thread or an exchange or something, right?
Yeah, I think like Lisa mentioned Garfield somewhere, and they were there, and they were like, "Oh, you want to host the podcast?" And she said, "Yeah."
Yeah, they don't do
So,
that
like,
anymore.
It depends on what they're too popular.
They're too popular.
Depends on like,
I just never see them. The only time the Beenger Davis, I don't think they log into the Twitter account at all. It's just like automated. It's fully automated, and it like
sad.
so the link will go out every day whether there's an episode or not, and then it just redirects to that episode whenever it goes out.
Sad. Well,
Because they don't put
but
the clips
these
like
are-
we do. Like this
Oh.
one right now, which you may be listening to on Twitter.com,
Whoa,
unless this is not the
whoa.
part that I clipped.
Well, that's insightful. We should get back to the script.
That's right. Okay, panel 2. The first panel was the flapper shot, and now panel 2 is just Liz. We zoomed in. I guess Alec is backed up, or he's omitted from the frame.
Yeah,
Uh,
but so frames work.
Liz looks annoyed.
Yeah, she
Um,
has beautiful eyes.
It's very detailed. She's like grimacing a little bit. She's got a raised eyebrow. It's sort of a scowl, like Carter said last week. Sort of thing. Well, no, it's a different expression than that, but it's like it's not
Does she-
really. Anyway.
Does she draw her eyebrows?
Oh, do you think she draws them in?
Like
Well,
she's
someone
shaved
draws them in.
Like no, she shaved them and like then now they're. Or do you think
Oh, you
she
think it's
has
that
thin
sort
eyebrows?
of weird, like, well, sometimes people will shave like one little sliver out of their eyebrow. You think she did that
Oh.
along her eyebrows?
Maybe.
That's not unheard of,
Maybe.
but it is a very weird
Yeah.
thing to do.
Like I don't know if they're meant to be thin or like.
I think they're just
shaved.
meant to be thin. That
Mm.
doesn't seem like something she would do.
That's true. She's a regular person.
Yeah. Regular enough that she recognizes that she's pointing out in her speech bubble here. She says, "Yes, it's Electries. Weird. It's weird that he keeps calling her Betty Boop
That's
or just Betty."
hard to say. It's hard to say no to it.
Hmm?
It's hard to disagree.
Yeah, she's right. So I'm glad finally somebody finally said it. I mean, she was kind of saying
Yeah.
that she was kind of correcting him already, but now it's like, yeah, My name is
Strike.
Liz, not Betty. I was just making small talk before when I mentioned it. I was just saying, oh, haha, funny coincidence. But I don't want you to actually call me Betty, because it's weird
Yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
that you're calling me the name of the wife that you gaslit people into thinking you had, who is not actually a real person.
Yeah.
Or maybe she is. I don't know. It's still not clear.
I think we're being a bit redundant.
Perhaps.
But maybe it...
Panel
okay.
3.
Panel 3, there's Alec. He has a concerned expression in his eyes. He's still very, like,
Sort of
detailed and
surprised,
stuff.
confused.
Yeah.
So pretty much
He's
just like
stunned.
similar expression to panel 1, but now he's like, his mouth
Yeah,
is more
now
open.
he's an open mouth. Yeah.
Even though he's talking
Mouth.
as much as he was before.
Yeah. He says, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I don't mean to do that.
Yeah, that's what he says. This is a close-up of him, by the way. It's like a reverse shot of the last panel.
Yeah. Then there's panel 4.
His shirt is darker
And,
than it was in the previous strip. His shirt keeps like changing
Oh.
somewhat, because the other day he was wearing a t-shirt for the first time. I mean, I guess not the
Oh.
first time. I think I said that, but I think he's worn a t-shirt that says like I refuse to divorce my wife, unless I'm just thinking of the
It's like-
t-shirt they sold.
I don't know if he wears it.
I feel
I
like
think
one
he
time he
wears
wore a
it for-
t-shirt that said something like that, right?
Yeah, but like not when he's not when he's a real person. But,
No,
like,
no,
a
not since it.
realistically
But
drawn. But he's probably wearing
He
it
was-
at some point.
oh, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it was his Subway shirt. Does he still work at Subway? Because
don't-
it was dark like that shirt. Maybe he was wearing his Subway shirt, but he wasn't wearing an apron. Anyway,
Mm.
panel 4. Back to the shot of the close-up of Liz. Previous panel. She got like her arm around her neck, like kind of like rubbing her neck. Anxiously. It's like sort of like an I guess pose, you know, like yeah, sure, whatever. And she's like looking away, kind of like, but you know the pose.
Yeah.
Unless you're-
yes.
unless-
Sorry,
Huh?
I'm not being very responsive.
That's okay.
Uh,
And she says, well, Electries. Okay. Just Electries. Yeah, it really weirds me out. Which it should. Yep. He's being really weird by this, especially because he doesn't realize. Like, how do you not realize? Like, what?
well, I think he's doing it on purpose.
You think he's
I mean,
gaslighting
kind
her?
of yeah,
You
I
think-
think he's gaslighting.
He's like,
Yeah,
I'm not
he
calling
was
you
always
Betty. What are you talking
gaslighting-
about? You must be hearing things.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's. I mean, maybe he's just.
I'm just
ascending in
calling
his
you
own
your
madness.
name, which is Elizabeth,
Like, he
which
did-
is Betty.
Yeah, like he's maybe he doesn't realize, like he doesn't fully realize that he's gaslighting her, but he
So
is.
he's gaslighting himself too.
Yeah. I mean, that's what he does for most of the comic.
I guess that's true. You think he was so far into the illusion of
His
being married to Betty
fantasy.
Boop that he actually believed it himself?
Sure, it's a possibility.
Well, he's been getting stranger. He was like, ever since it started being real life, it's like, well, he's acting mostly normal compared to his
It's like-
usual.
it's like mostly normal, but that's what makes it scary again. Not scary, but like unsettling.
Unsettling.
Like I saw for the first time, I saw the Instagram comments of those pages where he's like with her in bed and stuff. And
No,
everyone
the
was
real life ones.
No, Alex.
The real,
Yeah,
the real
life
life ones.
Yeah, and everyone was like, "No, Alec, no, stop! What are you doing?" Because yeah, they were feeling the same emotions as me.
Those comments were what on the original pictures of him with the statue.
No, I'm saying no, not the real him. I'm saying like when he was posting the comics on like Twitter and also Instagram, I guess. But like mostly I saw it on Twitter, so I hadn't seen the Instagram comments before. It's just when I was rereading it, I guess. So. And when I got to the Liz part, everyone was like very concerned about the. We were like, "No, Alec, what are you doing?
Was this posted
Stop.
on Instagram?
This is the worst." Yes, yeah, he's posted all of them on Instagram.
Huh.
Apparently.
I don't remember that. I guess I did.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I didn't follow him back then. I just saw them later. It's also like interesting with webcomics. So they're like yeah, the audience interacts with the artist. Like someone has got to study that. Maybe they already have.
The audience is
Like,
part of the narrative to an extent, but it's like a fake version of the audience. Because it was like those people in the apology video and stuff.
Yeah. But also the audience, when they keep gaslighting him. Okay, this is from, I think this was mentioned in the video by a YouTuber who made, okay, I'm gonna look up the title of the video. Yeah, there was.
Oh, like a video essay about Mr. Boop?
Yeah, video essay about Mr. Boop.
I haven't watched anything like that because I need to stay impartial.
Oh, okay. It's called something like The Metafiction of Mr. Boop. And
it's about to get even more strange in that regard later in this week.
Yeah.
Which we will see. What was I about to say? Oh, since you were talking about the fan interaction, there was a comment on the Patreon post, which was interesting, I think. Oh, it was someone said, "Is it bad, like, psychologically, that I find this strip comforting?" Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. I think, maybe I got this from that video, but I know someone has said something about how even the real audience encourages the delusion. I think it was said in that video. Like how in the comments of How to Draw My Wife, everyone says, "It is your wife, Betty Boop."
Well, at that point,
so, like,
we had every reason to believe it was true. Because he had
he wasn't he hadn't been out as a cheater in life.
A cheater. He cheated on his non-existent wife by pretending she existed or something.
Yeah, he cheated all of us and all of our hearts.
Yeah.
I feel betrayed. I thought he was really married to
married to Mr. Boop.
Thought he was really married to Betty Boop.
We should make a t-shirt that says, "I refuse to divorce my podcast being Mr. Boop."
That's true. But then you get taken down for copyright of something that
because it says the word "boop" in it.
Copyright. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because wasn't the original like taken down for copyright? So this would be.
He had like a little drawing of Betty Boop, I think. On it. Yeah, we're probably not gonna. We still. All right. It is my promise to you listeners that when we record the next session of podcasts for this podcast, the t-shirt design will be the Slang Guide t-shirt will be designed, and it may or may not be up for sale on the Pitch Drop website. It is not right now. I still have not designed it after all these months. But I designed another t-shirt recently, so it's like I'm kind of in the groove of making t-shirts. Hang on. Let me get I designed and bought a t-shirt. Let me go get it from my closet.
Okay.
This is available on the Battleship Posting Teespring.
Bring the fun.
That's what it says.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
Stop!
You're not even making said.
It's a Tad I Guess reference. You gotta only real Tad I Guess fans will understand. Anyway, you've been listening to Being Mr. Boop. Ooh, that's good podcasting. You can visit the show's website at www.beingmrboop.com for our full catalog of episodes and to sign up to host the podcast. For more updates, follow at Mr. Boop Pod on Twitter. I'm at Candyman106 or at SemiSuitStuffs for everything else I make. Sophia,
What?
I assume you don't have anything.
You can find me nowhere.
Don't you dare find Sophia.
Okay. Well, if they do a bit of research, they might find
okay, that's the challenge. Just find Sophia.
For the many fans. Where is Sophia in this picture with a lot of people in?
Yeah. Like Where's Waldo, but with Sophia.
Exactly.
Alright.
Exactly.
Thank you and good night.
Okay. Good night.
This podcast was brought to you by the Pitch Drop Podcast Network. Like what you just heard? Support the show by going to patreon.com/pitchdrop. And while you're at it, check out pitchdrop.net for more of this and other shows.